Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel at Future Way Next to World and my favorite destination Canada. Today we're going to talk about Canada Border Services Agency chase to 766,000 students with expired study permits. IRCC updates. We've been looking at a lot of stuff about international students in Canada. This video we've got is pretty wild. You're talking about like a potential exodus. Yeah, like what happens when all these international students, their work permits run out, right? It's a lot of people, over 700,000. Yeah, it's wild. I mean, just thinking about it, like if you were someone who came here to study, spent all this money, got a degree, and then sudden like, okay, well now you got to go, exactly, like you're finishing up school, all excited to start your life, you get a job, build a career, make some money, maybe even like settle down, have a family, totally, and then suddenly it's like, nope, time's up, not so fast, and we've seen, Canada has been, really encouraging international students to come here. Oh yeah, it's been a huge thing for a long time, and I mean it's good for everybody, right? Students get to come here, they get like a world-class education, exactly, and then Canada gets, all these skilled people, they contribute to the economy benefits, everyone wins until maybe now this is where things get It's getting a little complicated because you've got all these post-graduation work permits, PGWP, right? That's what allows people to stay and work after they graduate. It's that grace period to get on your feet, exactly, but there are a ton of them expiring, and I mean we're talking like by the end of 2023 almost 400,000 students at PGWP. Wow, and that's triple the number from 2018. It's a massive job, it's huge, and a lot of people aren't just thinking about like temporary work, they're thinking this is how I get permanent residency. Yeah, for a lot of folks this is about putting down roots. Yeah, it's not just like, oh, I'm here to work for a couple of years and exactly then I'll see you later, like they're building a life here, and now it's like, what do we do, big question mark. And as if that wasn't enough, at the same time you've got all these immigration policy changes happening. It's a lot to navigate. It's a lot, like already just this year Canada cut the number of international student permits by like 35%. It's a big reduction, it's a lot, and they're planning to cut another 10% next year in 2025, and they're saying it's because of housing, pressure on the housing market, which makes sense. I mean, it is a real issue, it's a big issue, and it's something that I think a lot of people feel very strongly about for sure, but it also like makes you wonder, is that the whole picture? Well, yeah, because if you look at like the larger context, it's gotten pretty politically charged, right? Oh yeah, like even this video we're watching, you see like the conservatives and the liberals going at it about how to manage immigration and this housing crisis like every week. There's a new headline, and I mean it's interesting that they bring up KV, like he's been pretty vocal about it. Oh totally, he's been very critical of Trudeau, saying his policies are basically just creating a ton of uncertainty for people who are here on like temporary visas and stuff, and he doesn't think those policies are really doing enough to solve the housing problem either. And it's not just politicians, it's students too. Oh absolutely, like the video showed those protests in Bankston, people are scared, they came here, they put all this time, energy, money into their education, and now they don't even know if they can stay. It's a tough spot to be in, like you put all this into it and then it's just like, oh well, maybe you have to leave now, exactly. So it's like this really tricky situation, because on one hand you got the housing thing, and that's real, that's a problem definitely, especially in the big cities where a lot of students want to live. Makes sense, they want to be where the jobs are, where the cat iron is. But then on the other hand you're saying like, okay, all you skilled educated people who are contributing to the economy get out. Doesn't seem very sustainable, right? What are the long-term consequences of that? And that's what brings us to this idea of brain drain, right? Which is basically when all the smart, talented people start leaving a country for better opportunities somewhere else. That's not what you want. If you want to keep your country competitive, you've got to hang on to the talent, totally, like it has a huge impact on the economy, on innovation, I mean everything, right? I mean think about all the different industries that could be affected, healthcare, tech, engineering, all of them rely on these highly skilled individuals. It's not just a few people we're talking about here. This could be like a mass exodus, hundreds of thousands, and that is a scary thought. It definitely makes you think about the future big time, and I think it really shows how complicated this whole thing is, right? Like it's not just about immigration, it's about housing, education, the economy, everything's connected, it's all tangled up together, it's a big web, and the choices we make now, they have a big impact down the road for sure. And at the end of the day it's not just about numbers on a spreadsheet, we're talking about people's lives, their dreams, their futures, and it makes you think, what kind of country are we trying to build, right? Are we going to be a place that embraces global Talent that fosters innovation, or are we going to choose these like short-term solutions that might cause even bigger problems down the line? It's something we all need to be thinking about. I think so too, and it's easy to just sort of skim the headlines totally, but what we're seeing here is that these policy decisions, they have real-world consequences here. Real people are affected by this, so here's something to think about, like what can each of us do to help build a better immigration system, a more inclusive one, a more sustainable one? That's the question. Yeah, food for thought for sure. That's all the time we have for a deep dive today, but keep thinking about these things. Yeah, it's important. Talk to your friends and family about it. We'll see you next time. See you then. Take care and goodbye.